What's up, everybody? Welcome back, spooky friends, to another exciting episode of Sir Henry's Haunted Podcast, Season 2. I'm your host, Zach. To my left is our executive producer, and he's back in studio this week after being absent for the last podcast. Calvin, where were you the last podcast?
I had a pretty serious case of the suds. Like SpongeBob. I was out.
Oh, okay.
Dan was out.
Cool. Well, it is fairly good to have you back, I suppose, although I think our stand-in, Josh, did a pretty good job co-hosting for you last episode.
I'm the eye candy.
So, is that what it is? Yeah, you're right. You get all those views. We got some cool stuff we're going to dive into today, but you guys notice we got a new guest in studio today. We got the one, the only Johnny Bronto from HauntScene. Go ahead and set it up, Johnny. Tell us about it.
Hello, America. My name is Johnny Bronto, and I run HauntScene.com. We're a travel show for Spooky Bleep, right? And we cover everything haunts, bites, and frights. So we actually travel all over the country to do haunted attractions. We're based here in Central Florida in the Orlando, Disney, Davenport area. And we've been at this since 2015.
You've done that a couple times, haven't you? That was
a few.
That was good.
That's what we refer to as the elevator pitch.
Oh,
yeah.
That was good.
Gotta have a good elevator pitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Well, it's awesome to have you on the show, Johnny.
Thanks
Glad
for
you could
having
make
me.
this. I know we kind of tossed around a few dates and times for this, but we were here now, and that's what matters. So we're gonna talk about a lot of exciting stuff today. As you guys will notice, there's still no shout out swear jar. We had a couple words that kind of got close last episode. Calvin, if you watched,
Apparatus.
Apparatus was one. Wow. I'd already forgot about that, so now you're reminding me it's probably going to be a thing again.
You did. You let a shout out slip.
No, I said I get one shout out a show.
One shout out a show, and I think it was Tampa J that said.
He said
fun fact.
Something.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
We'll give him a pass. Exclusive guest. We'll give Johnny a pass too if he slips up.
I will be fine.
We trust he'll be fine. He's a professional.
Allegedly.
So yeah. So we're gonna dive into some more of our stuff for Sir Henry's. Dive into some HauntScene stuff. We're still playing with our new studio here space. I don't know what we're gonna call it. The Sir Henry Lounge.
It's pretty loungy.
Pretty loungy. It's just kind of relaxed, laid back, casual, whatever.
It's also currently kind of, a little wet out. So if you hear any rain or thunder, it's just audio texture. It's pumped in.
It's a spooky,
stormy
stormy night.
It really does look like it.
I brought it with me. You're welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, all the way.
We make an effort to film everything with some ambience around us.
Authenticity.
Yes. We also have a new set piece this week, courtesy of the Zon. This nice black flame candle, maybe we'll call it. And maybe slowly as we go, we'll keep adding some set pieces. I do got to say, Johnny, you got a fantastic set, which you've also just redone for the HauntScene show. We love that set. I love that set. I think, Calvin, you were on last August with Johnny. I think you and Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll see it.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
In August.
Yeah,
he was hyping it up.
HauntScene Live.
Yep. So let's talk a little bit about HauntScene Live. So I know you gave us your elevator pitch right now. You've been doing this since 2015. I think we met in 2017, somewhere thereabouts.
Yep.
So I've known you quite a while now. You do haunts all over the country. How many haunted houses have you been to at this moment?
So personally, as a crew, we've been to 110 haunted attractions.
110.
Personally, I have been to over 100.
That's
actual locations, not different segments of a haunt. That's different
100
locations.
different locations.
Yes.
That's impressive. In what? In eight years?
Yeah, 20 states.
That's great. How many
countries.
countries? 2 countries?
Yep. Melissa went to Japan a couple of years ago.
For HHN there?
Yeah.
How does that compare to the U.S. version?
She loved it.
Yeah.
She had a really good time.
Is there a little bit of a cultural difference in how they do things?
Yeah,
or is
it's open during the day.
Interesting.
Apparently, so it's a little bit different.
Interesting.
For comparison, I am also a big fan of haunted houses. I just did the math. I've done 9.
Big number.
In comparison to what you said, 110. So I'm working myself up.
It's all right.
Good.
You're also
I'm getting
what?
there.
17.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little older, but we want to do one haunt in every state eventually.
Right.
So I still got 30 states to go.
Almost halfway there.
Yeah, we'll
Nice.
get there. We've done most everything east of the Mississippi.
That's pretty
East of the Mississippi.
I've never been west of the Mississippi in my life.
Well, Melissa has been to Knott's and Hornites in California, right?
Yep.
How does she like that?
She likes it. There's obviously a little bit of a difference with the event out there. I hear Knott's is amazing. That's something that we really want to do.
That's on our list.
I'll
too.
get out there. I'll get out there eventually.
Right.
I've always wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so much to see. I feel like on the East Coast, so much to do. I don't know. I don't know why that is, but
Well, states are a little bit more compact and smaller.
Yeah.
Like when I'm in like, hey everybody, we're in Wyoming or Montana. We can't hit up four states in
Yeah.
one night
See
like we
this
can in the
haunted
Northeast.
cattle ranch.
Yeah. There's haunts in Hawaii, in Alaska.
It's crazy.
So have you? You probably more than anyone else have felt and noticed the different cultures, like
Oh, yeah.
regional cultures of haunted houses.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Some, it's all regional. Like if you
Yeah.
go up to the Northeast, it's your classic Halloween stuff. I mean, you've got Sleepy Hollow up there. You've got Salem. That's your classic Halloween, autumn, fall. I'm from Detroit, obviously, so I love that northern thing. And obviously in the Midwest, haunts are open. There are a lot of them, and they're open later. So there's big haunt culture there. A little bit different here in Florida. I mean, we love Halloween Horror Nights, obviously, but we kind of live in the shadow of that here.
Yeah.
Whereas they don't have the theme park stuff out in other areas.
I think too, not having seasons also affects the culture of Halloween here, because and basically anywhere north of Atlanta,
Yeah.
you have seasons, and they live and breathe that, and it kind of I don't know.
Yeah,
I've
it
always
affects the mood
felt
of the people too.
like the Midwest is like the super like hardcore like rock
Grunge.
shows. Yeah, very grungy
Yeah.
and intense stuff. And nail on the head with the Northeast. Everything I felt up there is always like classic. Like this is like nostalgic in a way, and I've never been
this
here before.
is Halloween.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the style I'm drawn to. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it.
Good one.
Have you ever been to the Haunted Hoochie?
I have been in the Haunted Hoochie. See, the Haunted Hoochie, when I first started
Can we say
HauntScene,
that? Do we got to bleep that?
That's the name of a
It's
haunt.
the actual name of the haunt. Now, Haunted Hoochie was like the Haunter's haunt. Like when I wanted to get in good with the Haunters, they're like, you have to go to this haunt. So I did it. It's as insane as you think it is.
I've heard and seen some things.
Yeah, it's
Now,
great.
now we should probably put in perspective that it's not, and I've never been, so, but I think this is what a right assumption. It's not McCamey Manor.
All right, so I
Right.
forgot my McCamey Manor jar. Anytime anybody mentions McCamey Manor around me, they have to put $1 in the jar. We'll donate it to charity. McCamey Manor's not a haunt.
Start my
I agree.
not a
It's
haunt.
not on house.
Absolutely.
So I'm not. I've met Russ McCamey. No offense, Russ McCamey. I know you're watching, but
Big
that's
fan.
more of a intense torture type experience. We're
Sadistic.
not quite into that stuff,
So how would you classify Haunted Hoochie in comparison?
Haunted Hoochie is they do a lot of things to kind of get under your skin. So when you're in line, they'll have a lot of political questionable stuff that it's gonna. I think they are out there to offend and get
Right.
under your skin, and I think
kinda their
that's kind of their shtick. Yeah, exactly. Awesome haunt. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, and it's super aggressive.
Do they touch you there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they do.
I couldn't remember.
It was the haunt was awesome. It's not a traditional haunt where you're walking through. It's literally like the haunt equivalent of a roller coaster. They're running you through there like cattle. It's crazy. And
That's
there's just and it's just nuts.
I've seen some of the imagery. It's gnarly for
Now-
sure.
Now, have you been to Eloise? Have you been?
Oh yes.
Because that's like the hot new.
Yeah,
gotta have a
Eloise.
thing.
See, Eloise was special to me because I grew up in Detroit, and that's in Westland,
Right.
Michigan. So it's about 20 minutes or so about where I grew up, or from where I grew up, and it was always like a urban legend because it was an actual asylum.
Right.
And we actually had Jerm Warner from Eloise and Penhurst on a
I
couple
saw
weeks
that.
Yeah,
ago.
you
I
just
saw
had
that.
him on
Who
the
was
show.
awesome, super nice guy.
Link in the description.
Yep, do the things.
I took a class from him in Transworld. Cool guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super cool. I saw him on a show and I was like, I have to have you on my show. He's super nice.
He's like 9 feet tall.
I don't. it's weird because I try not to put one haunt over another.
Right.
You know, one of the questions I don't really do well with is like, what is your all-time one favorite haunt? Like,
Yeah.
I'll give you like 20, you know? But like
that.
Eloise, I walked out of Eloise and I'm like, this is going on the Mount Rushmore. Like, this
Yeah.
is it immediately was like top 10 for me.
So what is so special about that? Because we haven't had a chance to do it yet.
The set, the set,
That's
the
what I've heard.
design, the characters, every aspect of that, and the actual architecture that you see on the outside is carried on in the inside, and it really looks like they just took whatever the asylum was and they just added a haunt into it. No, they built it to match.
That's wild.
So it's really, really cool.
That's
There's
what I
an
heard.
upstairs and a downstairs.
That they kept
It's
like
seamless.
original
Yeah.
walls and then built the scene around it to match that one wall.
It is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, I cannot say enough good things about it. It's really, really good. It's one of those, we don't get a chance to go to out of state haunts over and over again.
Right.
But I'm from Michigan, so every time I go and visit home, I'm gonna ask Jim to let me in and walk around or something.
Yeah, we
it's
definitely
really good.
Definitely gotta get out there and check that out.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna ask you your favorite, but what are some haunts that stand out to you that you've done?
Other than Sir Henry's Haunted Trail in Plant City, Florida,
We didn't pay him to say that either. Yeah.
I'll actually give you a little bit of history. So
Okay.
when we started HauntScene, I was really into Halloween Horror Nights. It's a really good gateway drug where
Right.
people start. And I found out that there were other haunted attractions that were here, like the Shallow Grave, which used to be in Winter Haven. Amazing, miss it. And I went to Transworld for the first time, and I did the Darkness in St. Louis, and it just blew my mind. Like, my eyes hurt the next day because I couldn't open them.
Sensory overload.
Yeah, it was too much.
Yeah, once you see something like that big of a scale, it's
Yeah.
like you would just want that.
It's like
over
I
and over
didn't know
again.
haunts could do that.
Exactly.
And then it was an addiction. And then it was just like, let me find every haunt in Florida. We started doing road trips. We went to Netherworld. That was another like wow.
Insane.
Yeah,
Yeah, Netherworld is a must do if you're ever in Georgia. Yeah.
agreed.
But we've done all kinds of stuff. Every type of haunt we've done. I love Dent Schoolhouse. I love Haunted Overload.
Yes.
Amazing. And fun fact about Sir Henry's, I felt I had that Haunted Overload feeling when I was walking around the little preview you showed me earlier.
Because Johnny did get to see a preview of the hayride. So that's a huge
The
compliment.
scale.
Yeah.
I mean, the scale. Oh my God.
We went big on that, but we'll get into that. in a
Sorry.
bit. But yeah, those are all awesome.
I love. Every time we go to a haunt, we're not putting one haunt up against another. Every haunt's its own thing, and I am just there to have a good time. Like, we don't rate. We're not reviewers. We try to just promote the haunt industry and everything adjacent in general. And we literally have one checkbox when I go to a haunt. Did I have a good time? Check the box. It's awesome. And then I have aspects about haunts that I really like.
I think because you kind of pivoted to that kind of early on in HauntScene, where you went more from, I wouldn't even say you did reviewing, because you never really did that on the thing. Correct me if I'm wrong.
So I think when you're a reviewer, you have to have that boundary of you, and you have to be separate or an objective from the actual industry to review it. You might have your expertise about reviewing haunts, but me, I wanted to approach things from, instead of reviewing haunts or covering haunts from the outside in, my perspective, and this actually really worked for us, we cover things from the inside out. Yeah. Like, I do things with you all behind the scenes, and then that's kind of our coverage. And I do overlap with a lot of my peers that do that kind of thing, but I just don't have the heart to put one haunt over another. I want to just promote the entire industry and just get people out doing haunts.
And I think too, that's the most fair way you can do it, because sometimes, yeah, a haunt's a haunt to an extent, but then it's also like comparing apples to oranges. Because you're able to do stuff in an indoor haunt that you can't do in an outdoor haunt, vice versa. And you know, I think, like you said, each haunt is its own individual standalone thing, and it should be not compared, but judged for what it is.
It just goes back to like the style thing.
Yeah.
Not even like
Yeah.
the regional style, but whoever owns and designs
Exactly.
it is going to have
That's-
very different styles from
And-
just the person 30 minutes from.
And individuals have preferences too. There's nothing
Exactly.
wrong with that.
Yeah, the weird thing about reviewers, there's a human element to it.
Right.
You know, it's like, did you have a good day?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
did somebody mess up your order at dinner before you got there? Are you
Yeah.
subject to the weather? You know, there's so many X factors that go into the human aspect of actually reviewing and rating haunts, which is fine for them. But I just want to push.
Just in it for the
push
love of the
everyone.
game.
So
Yeah, I
what
love
you're
it.
saying is, let's get AI to review haunts.
Who?
AI, artificial intelligence, Chat
Oh,
GPT.
ChatGPT. I mean, I typed it in. It was just like, yeah. It was like, sir, write me a presentation about Sir Henry's Haunted Trail in Plant City, and it was just like error.
WTF.
Yeah.
So-
It breaks the charts.
So you talk about a lot traveling. Where are you going for 2023? What's the plans for 2023?
So our original plan was to wrap up the Northeast because there are a couple states we haven't done up there. But after talking to Jim Werner, Eloise, and Penhurst, I think we're going to spend the vast majority of our time in Pennsylvania. And we got a couple haunts on our list. We want to do Field of Screams, which you've done, Reaper's Revenge, Penhurst. I want to visit the Waldorf Estate of Fear, which is where they did Hell House. That's the title of a movie, Hell House LLC. And maybe we'll wander over to Maryland or something like that. So
I've been wanting to do Markov.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Have you done that one?
uh-uh.
Yeah, it's in Maryland.
Okay.
My sister looks like
See, the
something
thing is when I try to reach out or I figure out a state I've never been to, I have to ask for referrals.
Right.
Because I can't if I just Google what are the haunted houses
you're
and
not
blah, blah,
gonna get
blah,
the
that doesn't
same-
really work.
yeah.
So that's what's really cool about the haunt industry is I can ask people in the region
Yep.
and they will give me good referrals.
Yep.
I've heard, because I have a brother-in-law that lives in Virginia.
Okay.
And he said that he goes to Markoff's every year. Like, that's his
cool.
favorite. And we've seen pictures and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like an outdoor thing, like what we do. So really, you're just going to kind of focus on that Pennsylvania area. But like you said, there's so much to do
Right.
just alone in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
And we leave on a Wednesday and we come back on a Monday. So it's a trip.
Yeah.
You know.
So I saw like a crazy stat you posted last haunt season. How many haunts did you do in like a span of what, 6-7 weeks or something?
47.
47 haunts.
Yeah. Now I will
they all new
concede.
haunts?
I will. No.
Okay.
It was everything I could get my hands on in Florida. That was safe and not a cash grab. I'll just leave it at that. I did go on a bus tour through Fear Expo, which had 11 haunts in Michigan.
Okay,
at the
yeah.
end of the season
Yeah,
in November.
yeah, I remember
so
that,
I
yeah.
did kind of pad my stats a little bit because there were 11 haunts on that. But that's where I got to do Eloise, and I got to revisit a couple haunts that I'm huge fans of in Michigan, like Hush Haunted Attraction and Erebus and Pontiac, which used to be like the Guinness Book of World Record for the longest haunt, you know. So it was cool. Plus, I got to go home and visit my family and stuff, so it was cool. Yeah.
I got family up in Michigan, too.
Yeah. But even beyond that, I mean, that was still 30-something haunts. And I had told my crew, I'm like, we're going to dial it back this year. No.
You
Yeah,
you
we say that every
we say
year.
that.
Every year.
Let's create more work for ourselves.
Yeah.
It's part of the addiction, I suppose.
Never ends.
So speaking of your crew, how big is the HauntScene team?
So right now, we've got a total of 7 people. Not everybody's like full-time
Right.
because based on availability, so people
Right.
got kids and that kind of thing. But really good crew as of recording right now because I'm going to fire people after this. Just kidding. But Melissa, who's my co-host, has been with me since season 3. Amazing. There wouldn't actually be a HauntScene without her. Kira, photographer. Sherry, my videographer. Tuck is like the haunt bro, TikTok guy. Casey, who loves Sir Henry's. He's the legs. He's the legs of the operation, apparently. He's a TikToker. And then Shelby's like our Reels person. She does like the DIY stuff. And I think that's everybody.
What you're doing is interesting. You're content creators, so you got to
Yeah.
have a lot of people hands-on helping to create that content.
Yeah, I'm a jack of all trades, and I run the show and I do all the scheduling and
That's
everything.
a lot for one person. Though.
But I'm a schmoozer. I'm there to talk and network and meet people, and I just needed help. So yeah.
Once it gets to like a scale of like what you're at, you just have to have help.
Yeah.
And the quality and the growth you're able to do too, it adds to it all.
Yeah, the what I do, and one of the reasons I'm very particular about the way I run my show and the content that we create is because I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this to make you look good. That's why I want to evolve and change and get better because, I just can't, do the same thing every year. And
I think you've done a great job of kind of evolving to, I don't know, do it better than anybody else.
Wow. What? Clip that.
Can you quote that?
Yeah, clip that. Hold on, let me pass you $5.
Yeah,
we're just
he might have paid
exchanging
for
money
that.
for
that quote.
call outs.
Handing $1 back and forth.
So where do you see HauntScene going forward?
Well, the long-term goal for me is to do one haunt in every state.
Yep.
I think at that point, at the rate we're going, I will build. And I still would like to see it going, even after I have to step behind the camera. I don't want to do this forever.
Right.
So I have a clear goal, which actually really helps us. But I just want to be more known in the haunt industry outside of Florida, which we are. Yeah. And one of my big passions is, other than doing the show, is teaching. Like, I love to teach. I've taught at Fear Expo a couple times. I taught a class on social media. I've taught a class on gear, scare cams, drones, 360 cameras, action cameras, how haunts can utilize this stuff, because I have a little bit of a different outlook on haunts, because I'm not exactly your normal patron walking in, but I'm not quite a haunter. But I get to look at this global view of everything, and I feel like that's where I want my voice to be in the haunt industry.
The first time I saw a 360 camera was you. Yeah. You took a picture of us.
They're fun. They're just a little bit of setup.
Yeah. Do you still have yours?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we might need to hook up on that.
I have two. I have so much gear. Yeah. Like, we show up here and I've got the scare cam rig, and I'm like,
you got a lot of stuff. I love that scare cam rig though.
That is pretty cool. Who do you put it on?
Melissa, right?
Well, Melissa.
I rotate it. See here, I love you, Melissa, if you're watching this. But Melissa was my scaredy cat, and she's now numb. Unless there are spiders.
She got tough.
She much like me. When you get into the tens of dozens of haunts, you get a little. We start to like, ooh, look at the lights and the effects and the this and that and whatever. So that's kind of why I get new people inside and out every once in a while. But there are some people that we know are going to be good on camera. Like Dee Dee is amazing, and we just try to just make it fun. And we're gonna have a little bit of a different setup this year, but I think it'll be great.
I'm definitely I'm never nervous when I walk into a haunt, but I'll still jump. I'll definitely
a good haunt will make me jump.
They get me. They do get me. I do have my own little fears of things,
which are just for the viewers.
Full
of course.
Disclosure. we all. You know what I want to do is I want to publish on my page. We have like a team page, and I want to publish our phobias so the haunts know what they are ahead of time. Melissa's afraid of spiders. Everybody. Kira doesn't like fog swamps. Go nuts with that.
I feel like I knew those too.
I'm a little terrified of like dolls and puppets and smaller stature people that are in haunts. For whatever reason, they just mess with me. Yeah.
We did
I have a few of those things out here this year.
Marionette of the Dead was your favorite then, huh?
Oh yeah. There were.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
What is that? Whatever.
You didn't even review the questions. You had homework,
son. Nah, hey, man, I'm just.
I memorized them. What's my next question?
So, what is the best way for people to watch haunt scene content?
So our main platforms these days is Instagram. That's our main thing. That's the thing we've really focused on. We're very active on Instagram. Second biggest platform that we focus on, because we've kind of, I like Facebook, but Twitter, but we're active on those things. But I think Instagram and then YouTube, we're a little bit behind on YouTube because we didn't really focus on it for the first couple of years. But that's something that.
Are you doing your live shows on YouTube now?
We still do them on Facebook, but we actually take the recordings and edit them and then upload them to Facebook the next day. Yeah.
Or to YouTube.
To YouTube, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll put links in the description below to all of Johnny's stuff if you're watching the YouTube video. If you're listening, we'll put links there in that description too. Otherwise, go check it out on YouTube.
Yeah, we're HauntScene on everything. We're really easy to find.
Yeah, the branding is on point. I've always loved your branding.
Thanks.
Done a good job with that. We even have in studio a Buki here. That's awesome. Add that to our set pieces here.
Yay.
So you got a sneak peek of the hayride.
Wow.
Before the storm came.
Before this nice little spooky rain came. First impressions?
I was very impressed. And I've been coming here long enough, and I've seen the behind the scenes, and I've seen what Zach does, and I know where he's going with it. And wow, I was really, really impressed with even where it is right now. I think you viewers out there are in for something special. One of my favorite things in haunts are a scale, big props, big, tall things. And Zach's totally nailed it. And the way you described it and the things that are going to happen, no spoilers, but I'm very impressed. And I'm sure your 3 trails will be great, but I'm really looking forward to an actual hayride in Florida.
Yeah, from the beginning, this is one thing I've always wanted to do. Even before we started Sir Henry's Haunted Trail, I've always wanted to do a hayride. This is literally a passion project for me come to life. One of the first haunts I've said this on the show before, but one of the first haunts me and my dad ever did outside of Howl-O-Scream or Horror Nights was Bates Motel.
Oh, okay.
And the very first thing we did there was their hayride. And kind of like what you said, like, wow, haunts can do this. This is a whole nother world of like Hollywood caliber sets. So
I'm just I love hayrides.
yeah,
So
they're fun. It's nostalgic.
The first haunted house like I really ever did, I know I've told this story. I backed out of it, but it was a haunted hayride that like the fire department put on, and then you rode through it, and there was the haunted house.
Was that in Michigan?
It's in Illinois.
So I have like core memories of that when I was younger of doing some kind of hayride. I don't remember where it was or whatever, but I just remember doing it.
Yeah, and then when I came down here and did Screamageddons, I was like, this is cool.
I remember their first hayride.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago. I was pretty much a kid. Yeah, but I'm just a big fan of hayrides, and now putting my heart and passion for this trail into one that I can kind of like put my name on is really cool. It's gonna be really rewarding.
Yeah,
once I see that first trailer go through.
We're pulling all the stops in this hayride. I think it's I don't know, almost 24 animatronics are going into this thing.
Yep.
In the special effects, like Johnny said, the height, the scale of everything. Yeah, we're going all out, man. And that's not to take away from the other 3 trails, because we still have to announce what those themes are going to be. I haven't released any of that
I know
yet.
what all 3 are. I'm just kidding. I don't.
I don't even know. No, but we each. I would say each one. Ooh,
Spook. I hope the mic picked that up. That was a good one.
Each one is very natural.
Still going.
We'll record that and add it into the haunt this year. Each one's going to have its own little, I don't know, icon thing about it that makes it stand out from the others, that makes it unique.
Talking about the trails?
Yeah.
Okay.
One will be a theme we've never done before. I think one will be satisfactory. Will help satisfy some of the appetite for our guests, something they've kind of been clamoring about. And the third one, I think, will be a new twist on not a traditional concept, but a familiar concept, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Well said.
Thank you, Calvin. You
Yeah.
made my day. So, speaking of what we do here at Sir Henry's, we have our main October event. We all know this, but we also do the Haunted Valentine's Day and the Haunted Christmas event. Johnny, do you have a favorite event?
To be honest, I actually really like the Valentine's Day event. And the reason why, and there's nothing to take away from the Christmas or the season event.
It had to have picked
This
up
is
that one.
perfect.
This is great.
Yeah.
It's a haunted podcast.
Yeah.
I like it because, during the season, we're doing so much stuff. It's hard to really just get into something.
Yeah.
You know, we do a lot and go or do more than one night
fair.
or something like that. Christmas, I will be honest, I love the Christmas Krampus stuff, but I'm in burnout phase
Yep.
of
Oh, yeah.
recovering from doing so much spooky
Same
stuff. I love Valentine's Day because there aren't a lot of haunts that do Valentine's Day stuff here in Florida. And I think it's more of an intimate event for the true fans that are willing to come to an off-season event. So, like I said, not to take anything away from the other events, but I love Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And you should pick another obscure holiday like Arbor Day.
So
Flag Day.
So yeah, I would. If you ask me, I would say Valentine's Day is up there for me. Although I swore I would never do a haunted Christmas, and here we are doing a haunted Christmas. But that's kind
I
of
remember your Christmas
Yes.
trail.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we used to do the Christmas trail.
It's cute.
Good times.
Do I miss it? No, I don't.
But you hit the nail on the head again about the intimacy and like the passion of the guests that come to Valentine's
Yeah.
Day, which I think is what makes it more rewarding and like humbling for us to see that crowd that are
Yes.
they're not in the Halloween spirit anymore, but they're still like, we're gonna go to Sir Henry's
Right.
in the middle of February.
And to me, with my crew, and this is a big family reunion for us because we have a lot of our friends, and we actually get to talk to people and hang out and see people that we don't get to see because it's a very limited, exclusive event. You want to make sure that you do that.
Yep. And you mentioned other obscure events. I do have plans for more seasonal events. I was thinking, National Coffee Day. or
Yeah,
something
National
like that.
Donut Day.
National
too.
Donut
Yeah,
Day.
Sir
No.
Henry's sponsored by Krispy Kreme.
We are. We actually are sponsored by Krispy Kreme.
Synergy.
Thanks, Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
were
I
joking, but
completely
no,
pulled
that's
that out of
That's
my-
at least
out of my
once a
hat.
weekend. We
yeah.
get Krispy Kreme donuts.
Kids get donuts.
So shout out to Krispy Kreme.
Oh.
I know. Damn.
Bad.
But no, so one has been on my mind for several years now. Problem is, and I would do more, but these build outs and the changes that we do, because we always change so much each year, they take, from literally right after Valentine's Day all the way up to October. So anytime between then to do more events is consumed by these build outs. But with kind of this 3-year rebuild that I was in right now, and this will be the final year 3 of this build. Hopefully the plan is for 2024 going forward to see more of those off-season events. And I think they'll be unique, intimate, and also different than some of the stuff that is even offered around the country. So stay tuned for that.
We're always scheming. Well, he is, at least. I'm going to hear his crazy ideas all the time.
Do you have a favorite Sir Henry's character? You don't have to say Sir Henry.
I do love Sir Henry. I do have a soft spot for a lot of the characters. I'm currently reading the first book by Brad and Amanda. I'm wrapping it up. Sorry, I haven't finished the whole thing yet. They're actually going to have them on my show next Tuesday, which will air after this airs. So, Amanda and Brad, you were great on the show. You were amazing
Yeah,
guests.
the book was great.
The book was great.
Awesome,
oh
Brad
my
and
gosh,
Amanda.
such a good night.
Yes.
It's crazy. But getting the backstory on some of the characters, Poppy, Pyram, that kind of thing. It's hard to pick a favorite. I would like to reserve judgment until I wrap up the books.
Fair.
And but I love them all. I actually love the fact that there's some texture, there's some backstory there. They're not just people in costumes and masks. There are full on stories, and that you can access by reading the books. So you should buy the books.
Yes, link below. Yeah, and even book 2 goes more into certain characters' own stories that you went deep into. It just peels all those layers. And shout out to Brad. God dang it. We're gonna have to bring it back next week.
Come on.
Big thanks to Brad and Amanda.
There you go.
For the love and passion and work they have done on bringing my characters to life in such a way that they honored the authenticity of these characters. I can't thank them enough for the perfect job they did. And it's cool to have those backstories to kind of get that inside look to the characters, and then you come out here and see them at the trail. You're like, oh, okay.
You get a little bit of a deeper level of appreciation.
Yeah, I get closer to myself sometimes. Once I, start reading a passage, I'll be like, dang, that was really me.
I did that.
Yeah,
Man. Cool.
that was me.
Have
Been
you
there.
read both of the books, Calvin?
I haven't finished the second one, admittedly.
And it's been out how long? Is this required reading for working at this event?
Yeah. I'm not ashamed. I'm not proud of the fact that I have not finished the second one. But I was just telling him before the show, I read the first one in like 2 days. I was so excited about
It's
it.
a very quick read. I'm most of the way there.
Yeah, it's a good easy. Their second book is longer. I think it's almost twice as long.
I think it's almost a novel, isn't it? A novelle. Remember when I said
It's
that?
a novelle. A novelle piece.
That's
Brad.
a callback.
And there's also a third book
Third
coming
book
out.
coming.
Plug.
I know. I need to catch up.
Amanda and Brad are amazing people.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I love them.
Some
I love you guys.
awesome people. They're just great people.
If
Great
you
hearts.
need to know, or if you're curious as to who these people are, we did a show with them. I think it was our second to last of the first.
You can go
season.
back in the podcast.
But
and look
yeah,
at
go
that.
watch
But
it, meet them.
They're just
Great
on
people.
Johnny's show too. So watch both of those things, and check them out. Speaking of favorites, do you have an all-time favorite trail Sir Henry has done? Can be any event,
Any event?
or it doesn't have to be a favorite. Certain ones that stand out more.
I don't even remember what the heck it was called, but I remember walking through one of your fields and you had a bunch of pumpkin scarecrows on sticks, and it was amazing. And it was in a cornfield.
So that would have been 2017. would have been the carving.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Yeah.
it was awesome.
So
Well,
that was
unless he's talking about.
no, that was the carving.
Okay.
It,
It wasn't 2018.
Where do you remember?
I know the picture he's talking
I
about.
think it was in the second trail. I took.
Yeah, because I remember he took a picture of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was in our trail.
There
on
was
the
like a little bridge you had to walk over.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it was
So
the
then,
carving.
yeah, that was the carving.
So that was Pyram's inaugural trail. God, theirs had just got 10 times bigger.
Let's go.
I
Get out
just
of here.
love that classic Halloween feel.
That was a cool trail.
Yeah.
It was a very long trail.
I'm honored.
We did some cool stuff
you.
that year. It was kind of like we'd started, our knowledge started growing. We started doing different stuff. We started learning stuff.
before you went nuts,
And before we went nuts.
building 30-foot sets.
Yeah.
Before I got in his ear.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's what it was. Yeah. That was a cool trail. And some of these, heck, I can't even remember the trails we did last year. It all just kind of bleeds together because we do 3 events back to back to back essentially.
I remember the ones from 5 years ago more than I remember the ones from 5 months ago.
Honestly, yeah.
When you do a lot, they tend to blend
Yes,
together. Like,
it does.
Like I can remember the aspects of different trails,
Yeah.
but to remember a specific trail,
That's a good way to put it. I remember aspects more so than,
Or like specific scenes, yeah, stuff like that.
and I only remember the more recent stuff is because it's more recent.
Yeah.
well, I mean, you have trailers now for the trails. Like there are things that really separate them out more when you have something. It's kind of like Halloween Horror Nights. It's like when you look at Halloween Horror Nights and there's like an icon, you're like, that was the icon year or something like that.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
when you have something to associate these things with, it gets a little bit easier.
Well, and we're trying to keep them in a style. So like trail 1, which is the one all the way on the left, is a lot different than trail 2, which is the house.
Each
and-
one has its own.
and
It's
it's-
always a good mix.
And it's you're just trying to
Something-
keep a vibe and a
something
style
for everybody.
Yeah. But yeah, when you crank out 9 different themes and haunts in 4 months, it is.
Yeah, we had that on the podcast. We've done now.
I think it was.
So at the moment, we have designed 29 different trails.
Yeah.
Since 2014. Crazy. So this year it'll be 33. 33. It'll be 33, which is when you because I didn't even think about that until somebody asked me that. I'm like, oh god, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
We're having fun. We're having
We
fun.
are. We still got a lot of ideas we're gonna get to. Mm-hmm. Speaking of trails that we designed, Johnny doesn't know the themes. Nobody knows. Like
I'm
not even
kidding.
myself. What is your spec map for Sir Henry's for 2023?
Can I blue sky this? Can I just pick whatever I want?
Sure.
We'll do 2. Pick whatever you want, and then I want to know. I want
yeah.
to know what you're
Yeah.
actually speculating on.
So, man, so here's what I want. I just got done watching Boardwalk Empire on HBO. I'm sorry, Max. And I'm all about like the Prohibition era mobsters kind of thing right now, kind of on that kind of kick. I think it would be like if you could do like mobsters versus werewolves. Because you had that like speakeasy film black and white one a couple
Yeah.
years ago, Final Cut. That was cool.
Couple years
I'm big
ago.
on mashups. You could do something in zombies. You could do, I mean, there are a lot of things. I don't know what I would put on your spec map this year because
It's also up in the air.
yeah, it's up. It's out there, man. I know what I'd like to see.
What would you like to see?
An alien invasion trail.
I've been, me and John have been going back and forth on that for a little while
Yeah,
now.
I have footage of him confirming
Yes.
an alien invasion trail, which I'm still waiting for. I don't know if
Low key. Let's be real. It's kind of a joke, but one day I wouldn't be surprised to see it out here. But it would have to be done in the right way, just like a couple other things
Yeah.
for me to do it.
I think.
So I'll leave it at that.
I think it would be fun to do.
Yeah.
For sure.
yeah.
And then you
my
finally get the
long-term
satisfaction.
goal is to eventually talk every Florida haunt and do an alien invasion trail. I'm already 1 for 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're killing it.
Yeah, Petrified Forest did one last year. We love our friends over at Petrified
They
Forest.
beat you to market.
I know. But they did an awesome job with it. I'm pretty sure that was my favorite trail of theirs last year.
So that's what you said. Monsters and what was it? Mobsters and what?
Monsters and monsters, or mobsters and werewolves, or something like that, or I don't know.
Plants versus Zombies.
I mean, I love the rustic stuff that you do, like the throwback, like a different era type thing, and I think mashing that up with some sort of cryptid or monster or zombie or something like that'd be kind of cool. Just watching these, like Cowboys and Aliens is a crazy mashup. It'd be like that, but spooky.
Sounds like a Primus song.
What?
Mobsters and werewolves.
Yeah,
Catch that on the new Primus
Could be
album.
mobsters and anything.
Yeah, I mean, have you watched Peaky Blinders?
That's next.
Here,
Watch that show.
I thought y'all were gonna go off. On a
I
tangent.
gotta reel myself back in. Watch.
He
Peaky
brings it
Blinders.
up all the time.
Yeah, it's a great show. Great show. I haven't seen Boardwalk Empire, but I've heard good things about it.
It's very, very good.
Yeah. Okay, so we're at the point in our show where we're at our fun fact of the day. Legal sponsored fun fact. This does not count against me. I'm not going to have to repent for saying this. Fun fact, Johnny doesn't own a Sir Henry shirt.
I know, man.
Why is that, Johnny?
What up with that?
I
What up
don't
with
know
that?
because I'm here too busy creating content and schmoozing. I think I went to buy a shirt one year and you didn't have the size or something.
That could very well be.
So
Shirts are crazy.
I've made an effort, but it just hasn't worked out, Zach.
Well, it's not a shirt because we might be out, but we got something better.
What?
Cameraman, what do we got here?
Whoa!
What is this? A Sir Henry hoodie. Calvin, hold that up. This is one of a kind, deluxe cotton,
Wow.
Egyptian cotton
Yeah.
hoodie.
1,000 thread count.
Yes.
That is thank you so much.
There you go, and we will.
There.
We will.
From this day forward, is
Thumbnail.
mandatory.
Yeah,
mandatory.
every time we see you, you better be wearing that.
If you're on this property,
It's Florida.
if you're in this property, you got the
You
gear
know
on.
what?
Yeah, some of our-
I do love rocking some hoodies, man.
So,
I'm a big hoodie
so
guy.
when you go visit the
Thank you.
Northern Haunts this year, you got that. But we will still get you a T-shirt, an exclusive. Maybe we'll get him a Legends of Halloween Haunted Hayride T-shirt,
Ooh, I'd love that.
which design might be one of my favorite designs ever. It's sick.
It's pretty solid.
I'm gonna plug it myself. So start wrapping up here. Any topics, questions, and/or guests you want to see on the show, even if it's Vin Diesel, we'll try our best. Email him to Calvin. His email is on the screen below. Calvin at SirHenry'sOnATrail.com.
I'm official.
Merch ideas, send them our way. I can tell you, and because you guys are watching and listening to the podcast, you're getting this exclusive feedback. We are working on fanny packs for this year. Some little over the shoulder backpacks.
Beanies.
We have beanies.
What?
We have beanies now. Socks. We have socks too. That was Christmas, Valentine's Day. One of those.
Well, we had Headless Horseman socks.
No, we had socks, Sir Henry socks for the last event.
Yeah, but I was saying we had Headless
whatever.
Horseman socks last year too.
We're working. We'll have 4 new shot glass designs. A lot of you guys have been asking for that. We'll have a new style coffee mug. Lots of new things. 600% more merchandise this year.
It's the first I'm hearing of this.
More than ever. Last year was 300%. This year is 600% more merchandise. 10 seasons of Sir Henry, bigger than ever.
That's his elevator pitch.
I love the crazy percentage.
It sounds crazy, but I think it's actually. Well, I know last year was pretty close to 300%. It might be like more this 489% increase. this year.
0.3.
Yeah.
0.6, yeah, whatever. So, if you want to see any new merch ideas, and we have to have several emails with the same idea to validate it.
Stuff the ballot box when
yes.
you want a thong.
We have had those requests.
Oh yeah.
Sir Henry Intimates.
That would go after the Sir Henry's Haunted Podcast After Dark.
Dude,
Yes.
that's
Subscriber
gotta
exclusive.
be like the brand. Like if we have underwear or whatever, call it Sir Henry's Intimates. That's
Sir
so
Henry's
good.
Intimates. We'll have a G-string on the show
That is
next
so good.
time. But if you want to see that, email to sirhenry'sonthetrail@gmail.com.
He'll do it.
I will. Only because we have had people ask for it, though.
Yeah.
little negligee. Literally, I'm only repeating what guests have asked for.
The studio audience.
They might have been drunk, but it's whatever. If they want to buy it. Also, shout out
What are we pointing
to our
This guy-
audio team.
Just slaying these
There's
shout
three.
outs.
That's three. Next show, I'll
Crazy.
start the show with $3 in the jar. Okay,
All right.
it's only fair. We have these nice branded microphone cords, purple.
It's all about the brand.
Not the right color green, but we'll go with it. We're branding here. Okay, as you can see, we got the black flame
I'm
candle.
rubbing off on them.
We got to try and have something as nice as Johnny has on this set. I can't stress this enough.
I'm genuinely excited to see it though.
Oh no, absolutely! I
Yeah.
love it. Speaking of HauntScene, make sure you guys are following HauntScene. Give us all your channels. Your
HauntScene and
socials.
everything. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. We're HauntScene on Twitter. Go to HauntScene.com. We actually have a Florida directory of all the haunted houses. So if you want to see the places that we've been, learn more about the team, and we actually update a Florida-specific haunt directory of the things that are on our list. And we have links there to get tickets. You can see everybody's calendar there. Right now, it's still updated for last year, but we usually get that done by the end of July once I get the dates and everything from everybody. But yeah, we're HauntScene on everything. If you ever need to get a hold of me, I'm really easy to get a hold of. HauntScene@gmail.com if you have any questions. And that's it, man. I'm easy.
Last thing before we wrap up, because you have to listen to this, watch it on YouTube for exclusive content you're only going to get here. I'm going to announce right now, not a trail, but our tagline
Oh,
for our 10th season. Y'all ready for this? And this
Drum roll.
This could give away some trails. I don't know. See how far you read into it. Here we go. We ready for this?
I'm so excited.
I'm ready.
Lay it on us.
The witching season.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is. So a lot of things are gonna be tied up in this. A lot of things are gonna be wrapped. A lot of storylines gonna be wrapped up. You're gonna see some stuff with this on the hayride, but basically everything, every idea for a trail comes off this one idea: the witching season.
That's cool.
So say it all together. There's a nice sultry. Lay it on them.
The witching
No,
season.
like Sir Henry's Haunted Trail, the witching season.
You do it, Calvin.
Well, I just did. So.
No.
Sir Henry's Haunted Trail, the witching
There he
season.
is.
Thank you.
There he
Sounds
is.
better coming from a real man.
Oh my god.
No, but so that is it. Exclusive content here only. Thank you, Johnny, for coming on this episode. We loved
Thank
having you.
you
This
for
was a
having me.
Great conversation, talking haunts and everything else. Make sure you guys are following HauntScene. So like all their stuff, subscribe. Make sure you like and follow all of our stuff. Until next time, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Spook easy.